In 2024, Burkina Faso's economy is witnessing a remarkable turnaround, largely attributed to improved security conditions and a revitalized agricultural sector. Today, we'll take an in-depth look at what's behind the impressive 4.9% GDP growth, as experts highlight the interplay between security, agriculture, and the services sector. After this breakdown, we'll also analyze the factors contributing to this recovery and hear from experts in the field. But before we dive into the facts and figures, don't forget to like the video if you appreciate this kind of analysis. It really helps others discover the content. Let's break down Burkina Faso's economic leap in 2024.
Since the coronavirus outbreak in 2019, this is the first time that we have actually seen a substantial improvement in economic performance. So, in terms of poverty, simply in terms of GDP, and especially since it is the international institutions that are actually providing these figures, we can say there is a certain objective.
Burkina Faso's economy has shown an impressive ability to rebound, especially when we consider the challenges faced in recent years. The country has been undergoing a period of significant political and security crises, with various militant groups operating in the region. Despite these hurdles, the economy has grown steadily, from a modest 1.8% in 2022 to 3% in 2023, and a notable 4.9% in 2024. Economic experts agree that this improvement is extraordinary. They credit this growth to several factors, chief among them being the stabilization of the security situation. Experts argue that improved security has been the key driver, creating an environment that is conducive to economic activity. This progress can be seen in the World Bank's latest report, which notes a significant drop in incidents of violence by 26.1% and a reduction in the number of victims by 11.5%. This is a clear indication that the security situation has improved, allowing for economic revival.
When we carefully examine the World Bank report, we clearly see that there is a significant increase in various rates, an improvement in the incident rate, which recorded a decrease of 26.1%. Also, a decrease in the number of victims, which recorded a reduction of about 11.5%. So the security situation has clearly improved, and this is to the credit of the authorities. The improvement in the security crisis has borne fruit because areas that had long been inaccessible and where people have now been able to return have seen a revival of economic activity. This is what explains why today we have a growth rate of 4.9%, or about 5%.
Agriculture, the backbone of Burkina Faso's economy, has seen a major resurgence. Following improvements in security, areas previously affected by violence are now accessible again, and people are returning to their farms. The government has played a crucial role in this recovery, providing free land for farmers and supplying essential inputs such as seeds and fertilizers. Additionally, favorable rainfall patterns have boosted agricultural output, and experts note that food production has increased across rural areas. This agricultural revival is not just about food security, it is directly contributing to economic growth. The agricultural sector has seen a solid contribution to GDP as it accounts for 18% of the economy in 2024. For many rural households, agricultural production has led to better living conditions. The improved local food production is expected to have a positive impact on the household basket, which could enhance the nutrition and well-being of many families.
About the services sector, we are referring to everything related to retail sales, all forms of commerce, and all public administration services, because we can see that with the improvement in the security situation, public services are increasingly able to operate throughout the country and provide more services to our fellow citizens.
Alongside agriculture, the services sector has emerged as another key player in Burkina Faso's economic recovery. This sector grew by around 2% in 2024, and it is driving a significant portion of the country's GDP growth. Public administration services, retail trade, and commercial activities have particularly benefited from the stabilization of the security situation. As government services become more available and operational in previously insecure regions, citizens can access more essential services, and businesses have greater opportunities for growth. The services sector now accounts for 22% of the economy, an improvement from previous years, when the sector lagged behind agriculture. As we look at this growth, it becomes clear that the improved security situation has allowed businesses to flourish, with retail and commerce becoming an essential part of the economic landscape.
We're referring to the budget deficit, which is improving because there has been a stabilization of the wage bill, something the government has effectively achieved. The second factor is the reduction of subsidies, and the third, which is truly crucial, is the increasingly higher mobilization of tax revenues. There's also an improvement in the current account deficit because of the steadily increasing gold production, better control over its marketing, but above all, a rise in the price of gold.
Another crucial element of Burkina Faso's economic success story in 2024 is the external balance. The government's efforts to stabilize the economy and reduce twin deficits, budget and current account deficits, are beginning to pay off. One of the main contributors to this success is the steady increase in gold production. Gold remains a key export for Burkina Faso, and in 2024, production has continued to rise, further improving the country's current account balance. Experts point out that better control over gold marketing, coupled with higher global gold prices, has led to increased revenues. As the government continues to mobilize tax revenues more effectively and stabilize its fiscal policies, the country is seeing a reduction in the budget deficit. From over 6% in previous years, the deficit is projected to fall to 5.6% in 2024.
Important aspect is the initiatives taken by the government regarding budget management. These initiatives are now bearing fruit. You will notice today that the budget deficit rate has been reduced in 2024. So it has gone from over 6% to 5.6% in 2024.
While the news of Burkina Faso's recovery is certainly promising, there are still challenges to address. One of the issues is inflation, which remains higher than the regional average. Experts attribute this to speculation on staple goods, which has driven up prices and negatively affected households, particularly in rural areas. Despite this, the impact of rising inflation on the average household basket has been somewhat offset by the increase in local production. The increased agricultural output, particularly in rural areas, has helped keep the cost of living more stable than might otherwise have been expected. Furthermore, as employment opportunities in the agricultural sector increase, so does the income for many citizens, which should further help in mitigating the effects of inflation.
Areas have experienced an increase in local production. So the household basket will be positively impacted. There will be an improvement in the living conditions of this population in terms of food, in terms of nutrition. But we may also see an increase in per capita income, in the income from the agricultural sector. All those employed in agriculture will see improvements in their income. And so, consequently, there is also an increase in employability and employment in this area.
Looking ahead, Burkina Faso's economy is expected to continue on this positive trajectory. Though challenges remain, the government has set ambitious goals for 2025, focusing on boosting agricultural output even further, creating more jobs, and ensuring sustainable economic development. The emphasis on expanding gold production, improving budget management, and attracting foreign investment will remain crucial to sustaining growth. Experts are optimistic, but caution that the government must tackle inflation and ensure that economic benefits are equitably distributed across the population, especially in rural areas. With continued investment in infrastructure, security, and the agricultural sector, there is hope that Burkina Faso will maintain its economic resilience and potentially even exceed expectations in the years to come.
What matters most to us is the extreme poverty rate. And the extreme poverty rate is the proportion of people who live on less than 1,200 CFA francs per day. And when we look at the World Bank report, there is a decrease in the poverty rate of about 3%. We are at a rate of 23.2%, which is lower than the poverty rate observed in sub-Saharan Africa.
In conclusion, 2024 marks a pivotal year for Burkina Faso's economy. The country has shown remarkable resilience, overcoming significant challenges and achieving a strong 4.9% growth. This recovery has been driven by improved security, a resurgence in agriculture, and growth in the services sector. While inflation and poverty still present challenges, the outlook for the future is positive, and the government's efforts to stabilize the economy and foster development are paying off. Burkina Faso's success offers valuable lessons in the importance of security and government-led initiatives in times of crisis. With continued focus on sustainable growth and addressing inflation, Burkina Faso is on the path to a brighter future. If you found this analysis insightful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more in-depth reports. Don't forget to leave a comment to share your thoughts. How do you think Burkina Faso can continue building on its successes in the coming years?